In a workshop on the outskirts of Valladolid, the sculptor Miguel Ángel Tapia uses traditional methods to construct and paint polychrome wooden sculpture. For small objects like this crucifix, Tapia carves into solid wood. But for life-size sculptures, such as this figure of the Apostle St. Peter, Tapia first glues planks of a local pine called Pino de Soria, a wood much in use in the 17th century, before squaring the block against a full-scale model and then hollowing the sculpture out. Although he uses modern tools to help him in the process, this practice of hollowing out a sculpture is entirely traditional, as it prevents the wood from splitting and also makes the sculpture light enough to be carried in procession. Also in keeping with tradition, Tapia works on the sculpture in parts. For the head, for example, the glass eyes are inserted from behind the mask of the face. Limbs can also be carved separately, as can elements such as drapery, hands and feet. Once assembled, the joins are sealed, the entire sculpture is rubbed with garlic to deter woodworm, and the wood is covered with a layer of white gesso. From there, the polychroming can begin. Base colours are added first, before the final skin tones, facial details and colouring for the hair and clothes are completed. Many of Tapia's sculptures are inspired by 17th century originals, still paraded in Valladolid on pasos or floats. These multi-figure tableaux are extraordinary creations, and some, when not in use, are housed in local churches, where they serve as an elaborate form of side chapel. This deposition by Gregorio Fernandez, for example, occupies a purpose-built niche in the Church of the True Cross. These floats at the National Museum of Sculpture, on the other hand, share temporary accommodation in a modern warehouse. These multi-figure pasos, with their clear distinction between the idealized sacred person of Christ and his ugly, often disfigured tormentors, were first developed in the late 16th century. Before this, confraternities had often hired professional actors who would perform scenes from the Passion on a movable stage. But this practice was denounced by the church authorities, as actors were considered particularly sinful. Actors were eventually banned altogether, and polychrome wooden sculptures took their place. For the spectators, these groups, with their life-size figures and naturalistic settings, established a new sense of proximity to the events being depicted.